All right, guys, we had a good weekend. Went 9-1 for the weekend. The Knicks were a couple points away from covering. Should have had a sweep. Should have went 10-0 for the weekend, but it's all good. Got some plays for today. We're gonna cash. We're gonna sweep. I got a little bit of a sore throat. Gonna drink some tea after this. I wasn't gonna make a video. Feeling a little down right now, but we're gonna push through. I'm gonna get these plays out to you guys. If I don't post a video, if I ever don't post a video with picks, be sure to check out my Twitter and my Instagram. I'll have the picks up there. I'll have the picks on my Twitter or Instagram if you guys don't see it posted. But let's get started. So today we got the Denver Nuggets at the Charlotte Hornets, and I got 3 plays today. I like Denver first quarter, first half, and full game against the Charlotte Hornets. First quarter is -1. First half is -2.5. And first half is -2, excuse me, and full game is -3.5. I like Denver in these spots. Denver has shown that when they go to the Eastern Conference, when they go to the East, they cover first quarters and first halves like religiously, consistently. They do it every single time. I've cashed with them numerous times, first quarter, first half throughout the season. Whenever they go to the East, they cover. They come into the East and they take care of business early. Now, as far as the full game is concerned, Charlotte is on the third game in 4 nights. Third game in 4 nights. They should be exhausted. They're going to be tired. They just beat Brooklyn last night, so there's going to be a little bit of a hangover coming from that win. They're going to be a little bit fatigued. Do they really even have it mentally? They just, they got the edge on Brooklyn now. They got the tiebreaker. They're ahead of Brooklyn in the standings. So, do they really have it in them to keep pursuing? Charlotte is they're a 500 team. So for them to just be reeling win after win, they just beat the Jazz. Now they beat Brooklyn. Do we expect them to keep winning these games? They're due for a loss. So Denver's going to cover first quarter, first half, full game. There is potentiality, and I will be transparent, there is potentiality that Charlotte comes in hot from the Brooklyn game and they carry the momentum over and they're hot early, but they cool down later on because they're just fatigued. And there is a chance that Charlotte is cold early and heats up later like they normally do in games. Because Charlotte usually starts games off very slow, and Denver starts games off hot, especially in the East. So that makes first quarter and first half seem really secure. Now, full game, Charlotte tends to pick it up later in the game, but like I said, third game in 4 nights, the hangover from beating these good teams. As a young team, do they really have that mental fortitude to just keep pushing and pushing? I don't think so. I think they're going to let up a little bit. I think they're going to let off the gas. I think that they're kind of happy to be in the position that they're in right now, and I think Denver's going to get all 3 spots. But just to be transparent, I wouldn't be surprised if we got first quarter, first half, but didn't get full game, or if we got first half and full game, but maybe didn't get first quarter. I'm expecting us to get at least 2 out of 3. Really, I think we got a great shot at getting the sweep, getting the trifecta. But, this is a game where we could attack it at multiple angles, so I had to attack all 3. But I'm expecting to hit all 3, but I wouldn't be shocked if we get 2 out of 3. Like I said, Charlotte could carry that momentum early, or they could, just come out super flat. So we'll see. Official plays, once again, Denver first quarter, first half, full game, book it. All right, so on the Denver game, we had 3 plays. The 4th play is going to be on this game. Second game to look at, Boston at Toronto. And you should have got on this train earlier. Toronto hosting the Celtics. Toronto's in a must-win spot. They need to win. They're trying to avoid the play-in tournament. The Celtics are seeing Miami in a couple days, so they want to be ready for that game. And the Celtics have Robert Williams, who's their anchor down low. He's their anchor on the interior. Robert Williams is out. Robert Williams is hurt. He's out. That's a big blow for the team. Al Horford and Jason Tatum came up on that injury report right away. So when the line came out, it came out as Toronto +3. It immediately went down to Toronto +1, and then soon after it went to Toronto -2.5. That's when I got it. I got it at Toronto 2.5. You guys got to hop on these lines early. Get the best line. Get Toronto when they were -2.5. Get Toronto when they were dogs. You got to get on it early. Once you see Jason Tatum is a game time decision and you see the money swinging like that, you can kind of assume, you can kind of predict that he's probably not going to play. Al Horford's probably not going to play. Williams probably isn't going to play. Well, Williams is out, and Tatum's probably not going to play. Now they're saying Jaylen Brown is going to be out. They're just going to rest all their guys. Now they're saying they're going to rest all their guys. So the spread has moved up. It's bounced up all the way to Toronto -8. And I think this is a smack spot. I think this is a spot where they just get beat down. I think this is a spot where Toronto just kills them. And I'm expecting a double-digit win. I think Toronto's on a roll. Of course, I took Toronto to cover that double-digit spread versus Indy. Now, the Celtics are a different team than Indy, but the Celtics are resting all their guys. So really, how different are they than Indy when they're resting all their guys, you know? So I like Toronto, must-win spot. If you're getting it at -8, that's just way too much of a bad line. So I don't know if I would take it at -8. -8 is way too much of a bad line. Maybe buy a couple points, get it at -5. But -8 should cover. -8 should honestly cover. They should smack them. If you want to buy a couple points and get it at Toronto -5, that should be real solid. I got it at Toronto -2.5. I'm feeling good about that. I'm not really worried about that at all. I got no concerns about that game. Feels like free money. Now, anything can happen. It's never really free money. Anything can happen. But I feel real good about that Toronto -2.5. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Petros channel. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram so that way you can get the updates. That way I can post a look ahead line, or I can post, the opening line, or give you guys something to pay attention to early on so you can hop on it before I make the videos if I'm not able to make a video at night. Obviously, I got a little bit of a cold right now, so that's why I wasn't able to get to it. But once again, Toronto -2.5 official play. If you get it at Toronto -8, try to take that down a little bit. You're kind of too late to the party, but honestly, Toronto -8 should hit too. So do what you want with that information. But I'm locking in Toronto -2.5 official play. All right, and I got some other looks. I got some leans. I'm not going official with any of these plays. I'm not actually betting money on any of these games, but these are games that I have a little bit of an idea of where they're going to go. First one is Warriors at Grizzlies. And the Warriors have been covering. The Warriors have been covering these big numbers with Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson, their on-court chemistry, really their on-court or off-court chemistry, I don't think is that great. The Warriors, they play better. They tend to play better. This group tends to play better when they don't have Draymond and Klay on the court. This group plays better when it's just them rocking out. And they have big spreads. For example, as a slight favorite, they covered on a short line. They covered at Detroit as small dogs. I think it was +4. They won outright at San Antonio. +7.5 or +8. They covered at Denver with this group. This group also won outright at Miami, winning that game with this group. So this group has success. When they get those big numbers, they have success. The problem is Memphis has success with their group, and they get up, whether it's for the Pacers, and they take the Pacers to town, they beat them up, or whether it's the Grizzlies, or not the Grizzlies, whether it's the Bucks or the Nets. I mean, they get up for everybody. They're a train, they're a freight train right now. They're getting up for everybody. So I don't want to get in front of Memphis, but I do have a lean towards the Warriors in this group. They always cover with big numbers, and I think people are kind of sleeping on them today. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors are able to make this a 5-6 point game, cover the spread, lose a close one. Some other looks that I got, I'm just going to go through them real quick. Cleveland -9 hosting the Orlando Magic. I think Cleveland is in a must-win spot. I think they really need to win to avoid the play-in tournament. I think they're going to come out motivated. They got the Mavs and the Hawks coming up, so they're going to want to take care of business, get this guaranteed win out the way. So it's kind of similar to the Toronto spot versus the Pacers, where Toronto just beat down on the Pacers and made sure they got that win to avoid the play-in tournament. I think the Cavs are going to try to do the same thing tonight. So look for the Cavs to come out with energy. I'm not betting on that game just because I think the line's pretty sharp. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cavs won by 9 on the dot, or if they won by 8, or if they won by 10. I wouldn't be surprised, but the Cavs should come in with momentum. Gun to my head, I would take the Cavs to cover this game. But it's just, the line is just a little too sharp for me. When you look at their previous matchups, it was close games. The line is just a little too sharp for me to take -9 with a Cleveland team that's struggling right now. But I do think Cleveland's going to cover this number. Now, the last two games that I have looks at, we got the Chicago Bulls -3.5 at the Knicks. Chicago is a bad road team, but as a favorite, they're very good actually. I believe they're 13-4. So they struggle on the road when they're playing against better teams. They can't beat a good team in their arena. But when they get a bad team, they go to that arena and they kill them. They're 13-4 as away favorites. So I think they go to New York. The Knicks suck at home. I told you guys that in the last video. The Knicks suck at home. They play bad in the Garden. I think the Bulls come out there and the Bulls take them. I think the Bulls smack them. I think they cover this number. I like that this number went down. It's probably sharp action or whatever, public action, whatever. I don't care about that kind of stuff, you know. I'm just looking at it for what it is. 3.5. That's a real good number to take. I'm glad that it stemmed down, and I'd take the Bulls. That's just a lean from me once again. Not an official play, just because the Knicks have been real competitive lately, and just because the Bulls, they're kind of a shaky team a little bit. But the Bulls should cover this. And lastly, I do like San Antonio -9 at Houston. Only reason I'm not taking it is because San Antonio isn't a good enough team for me to take as a road favorite by that many points. It's just not they're just not good enough for me to take -9 on the road, and I'm getting the worst line at -9. You could have hopped on that game way earlier, and got it at like what, -5.5 or whatever it opened at, -4.5. It opened something low. You know, when I saw it, when I was up and I saw it, it was -6.5. So I'm not jumping on it at -9 now. That number might be a little sharp. The Spurs should really smack them. The Spurs are playing to get into that play-in tournament. The Spurs are trying to make a little bit of a push. The Rockets don't really have too much to play for. The Rockets are coming off back-to-back wins versus Portland. I just don't know how they react. Do they react by that? You know, do they carry that momentum over, or are they just juiced that they beat Portland twice and now they come out kind of flat? I just don't know. So San Antonio -9 at Houston. They should cover that. I'm not touching. Chicago -3.5 at the Knicks. Now that's interesting enough for me to maybe sprinkle, but I'm probably not touching. Orlando +9 at Cleveland. Cleveland -9 hosting the Magic. The spread's just a little too sharp. And the Warriors with getting 11. I thought it was 10.5. Now it's up to 11 at Memphis. I think the Warriors can pull it off, but I just wouldn't do it. So official plays: Denver trifecta spot, first quarter, first half, full game, -1, -2, and -3.5. Book it for Denver trifecta spot. And I like Toronto -2.5. If you got to it later, try to stem the number down, but make sure to follow me so that way you can get all the updates and hop on that line early, man, because it's money to be made in these games if we play it accordingly. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.